See if this works. Apparently it might be working. Take a look. Got screwed up over here. Yeah, now it's live. All right. So as I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and get all this stuff working. Go back to my description of this. I don't think we're going to worry about dead seagull. Let's go ahead and if I need a description, I'm going to get that up like that. That is awful bright. All right, so I think we're gonna do it this way. We'll do a little bit at a time. Got our snap turned off. Like I said, we had this done. I had showed a picture of this, but it just didn't trace properly. So, I mean, we've got the wharf here. Let's. We want to do. I think we want to do it as a shape tool. Pattern shaped. What pattern we can use and make a wharf? I mean, we could make it like a stone wharf. Not sure. I want to check something. Sure, stuff will show up over top. Let's do a little experimenting. Do that. We're gonna place some objects. Tags. There's and there's here. There. Go on top. Problem we're going to have here is putting that pattern down like that, it's not going to show up properly. Let's start doing the ship, and then I think what we'll do is try to put the layers on. We can. Pattern shape tool, you can select a layer. We could do that, right? That's going to be under the water. All right. Not gonna worry about that right now. Oh my goodness, she's very upset. Brother came in here and she escaped. I don't want to be in here. That, undo it. Forgot we went this way. There. We're gonna draw this a little bit at a time. It's gonna be perfect. But it's definitely gonna be better. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. It's gonna be better than last time. Then we can always come in, add and edit points. I mean, technically this is like old ratty ship. So it should work out well. I think what we're going to have to experiment with here, seeing if we can some of that line there. Okay, right there, we really need this section here be gone. There's a way to do that. This is how that did. I mean, that looks pretty clean. Got a few little spots. Just. But it looks pretty clean. There. We'll bump that in a little. Right? All right. Now we can, what we can do, let's do this. No, it's not really a wall, but do this with fence. Here, right? Hey, Beast Mode, how's it going? Going to draw on top of that. Not. What is going on here? Really like to be able to cut this out here. I think we had this figured out before. I'm gonna pull up the other map that I made. Samantha got fans. Thank you for the host. Greatly appreciated. So we had this thing built. How did we do it? You know what? We didn't even worry about it, did we? We just, I mean, this is the problem. Our hull was all janky and everything. So I think we're gonna be fine. All right, so let's start adding some objects here. I do want to take a look at that quick. We do that. Do we just create rails or do we throw some walls in? No, we did interior walls. Okay. I know what we do. Pretty sure I know what we do. No, we just created rails. Okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I worry about stuff like this. You know, oh, is it going to look good? Is it going to look bad? I don't really think my players care. Kind of funny. I mean, they care, but... All right. Let's start adding some objects. We're going to put the steps and all where they belong. Stairs. Is there a landing here? What do we want these stairs to? Probably better. Grid. Hidden under that, so that works. There is. You're right. I forgot about that. There's this. It's like what the hell's it called? Threshold, right? Thank you for reminding me. I was using the threshold when I was making my one map last week. I was so worried about how the secret doors and everything were going to look. Where is the one that we did? I think it's this, the Under the Villa map. And I ended up redoing it, which I was glad I redid it. But there's Under the Villa, which I think turned out pretty nice. But there are all these secret doors like here and here. And I was trying to set it up so that, my mistake was, my brain started saying, all right, well, let's put two sets of walls, one that's solid, one that's not, put them on top of each other. And then the secret door will be able to be there and be opened. Instead of just being like, you know what, just throw the walls down, we'll put the secret door in when it pulls over, and let's not worry about it. And that's what I ended up doing. I ended up just not worrying about it, and the map ended up being much nicer than what I was doing in the first place. So we've got like our secret door and stuff here. Everything's set up in game. But yeah, I totally forgot about that threshold thing. All right. Object tool. Let's go back to there's. Need a landing. I thought there was a landing. Maybe. I know they have a landing thing because I used it. Let's do this. Set. Building assets. Recondite Monator. Thank you for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you're having an awesome day. So yeah, right now we're no, it's in here. I think it's out its thing. I don't think I loaded everything. Look at our assets. Need that. Do that yet. Got to make sure it's saved. I did that the last time and I lost all the work I did on the damn thing. Now let's make sure. Need that because it does have a couple things I use. Assets aren't going up. Or asset packs, I should say. I should have decor. What is going on? Tags. Wonder why some of these aren't showing up now all of a sudden. I'm missing a whole group of assets. Let me open another one. We did under the villa the last time. Loading that. I've got to see what's going on. Maybe something happened in here. Some of the assets. Oh, all right. Down there. Something weird's happening. But let's find this stuff. So, here we go. Objects, object tool. Let's look at. Oh. Railing. Some of these aren't going on top too, which is an issue, but that's figure it out in a minute. Doors. I wish that there was like, type in search here. That would make things better in my opinion. So I think what we'll do, we're going to do this. Hoping this doesn't screw up what we have there. Good. Do this. Oops. That worked out well, didn't it? So we're going to, a lot of this is really just experiment and see what it screws up. All right, that worked. So it goes up there. We've got our landing done. All right, now let's create walls there. Oh my goodness. So upset. So upset. Tough being a little girl. Very tough being a little girl. That. I think what we can do, if we could find railing that actually worked well, we'd be able to put it on there. Alright. So let's take a look on the object tool and see if we have, I doubt there's something that says railing. But there's nothing there. Looks like what we need. Maybe I'm being too picky. Curious how that would look on top of it. You know what? I'm fine with that. Let's go to our next assets. ship. Right? And we need that. Take it down just a notch. Bit. Bam. We need our masts. Okay. Why? Do a mast with a crow's nest up top. Get one. This mast here. Having the mast at that frame on the bottom. I think, other than our wharf, that's our top there, almost. Let's this, and we need set that out. We're not going to fit here. To close as possible. No, they have those assets there. Ship again. That bowsprit, bowsprit, I should say. That one. Do that. Stuff back to normal. So I think we're some minor stuff. We're done with that. We don't want to be dropping bowsprites everywhere. Now we need to create our wharf. Tenant wharf, shields ready. It's a shame that we only have the option of going like 50, 75. Really nice. Be limited. Fine. All right. Let's save this. Then we will see if the pattern shape tool is going to work. I'm afraid it's going to go over top of it. I don't think the pattern shape tools. What do we want to use? Paintbrush. Oh. Not like wood terrain that we can drop. That's going to go on top. Well, we could do it under. See if they have some flooring assets. That would be nice. And then we'll see if they have some dead bird assets. I think that'll be kind of funny. Oh no. Very upset down. Don't want to be in here. Be making trouble. I am trouble. She's been busy trying trying to chew on things she shouldn't chew on. I mean, she's 2 years old, so she's still got a lot of puppy in her. She is such trouble. Oh, that's literally wood. Kind of fun. Structure. That was really what I was looking for right there. Kind of. That would make a good wharf. Wouldn't it? See if it'll work. Under? Yes. Oh. Like Asia. Thank you for the follow, or thank you for the sub. It's greatly appreciated. So let's snap this one. See how this works. I think what we're going to do, even though the wharf goes down farther, how did that screw anything up? Take a look. And it did, didn't it? So let's take a look here. I think what we need to do undo. We're going to take snap off. We're going to work backwards here. I wish I could do one of these, but I don't think that's going to work either. Like I said, it's go right over top of it. Well, on air use below water. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think that literally going to be below water. Oops. I took away the bow sprite. Didn't mean to take the bow sprite away. It was very bad. Very, very bad. All right. I think what we'll do, we're going to bring the wharf up to here, and we'll call it close enough for government work. Not perfect. Not really. What I want to see, but I have to do. this. No, that fuck the floor. I tell you what, that little space there doesn't matter because they'd be stepping over from where the wharf is. So I think that's fine. You know, and hopefully party doesn't do something stupid. Oh, I have an idea. I think we just figured this bear out. We got this. Dex. I'm gonna come in and do this. Take this. That. Close as we can. Oh, you're so unhappy. I know. The gap there is fine. Perfect. No. It's built in sections. Do one more like that, can't we? How big did we have it? All right. There. I know there are probably some people disappointed that we're not playing The Last of Us Part 2 now. But, hated that game. And I don't even think hate is strong enough. The problem is these are objects and they're always going to sit on top of what you're doing. You know, on top of your floor, stuff like that. Trying to get it so it's scaled down enough that it's not super noticeable. It'll be kind of noticeable, but go back to we want our wharf to be there, don't we? But it's not going to be the prettiest I've ever done. I kind of, for some stuff like this, I think Dungeon Painter Studio was nice, but I know that I've read that had some serious crashing issues lately. All right, now are there chain? A big ass chain. Chairs. Assets. It's possible to be on ship assets. We'll see. Jello6, thank you for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you're having an awesome day. You really like Jello? That's the name. Actually, it looks like the wharf only goes out to there, right? We can stop that right Let's see. Blacksmith, no chains. Already know boat, chains. No chain. She is very, very upset. I think might end up being something that we need to draw on our own. If that's the case, we'll end up doing it. We're just not going to do it now. Oh, we're too worried about details, I think. Hey, Jello6, how's it going? I worry about details way too much. I mean, I see something and it says, you know, this is what's supposed to be there, and then I'm like, God damn it, I need an asset for that. Even though, if we look at the maps that they have there, yeah, they've got a chain drawn in. The map actually sucks. Thank you, Pharaoh Gamers. I'm pretty happy with. I need to get this back down to 1. Pretty happy with DungeonDraft. I was using I mean, I have my video that I put up on it too for Defiant and Titley. Thank you for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you're having an awesome day. Was it Dungeon Painter Studio? I was using that for a good while. And I really liked it, but you know, once I saw this, this is why I like it, because I've moved over to Foundry Virtual Tabletop. Stuff like these walls that are drawn for the ship hull, they will convert when I throw create a VTT file out of this. And when you import that VTT file in, any walls, doors, any of those assets will automatically draw in the Foundry Virtual Tabletop. So for line of sight and things like that, it automatically creates the line of sight for you. Now stuff like the one map I was showing people earlier that I made, and I'll bring it up right now. Let's see. The Vantampur Villa, underneath the villa, there's areas with take a second to load. This is the one I made for under the villa instead of the line map. And in here and over here should be 2 secret doors. Now, all the regular doors that are on here, they automatically come in. Secret doors, you'll have to make adjustments to the VTT, not the VTT file, but once you get into the virtual tabletop, you'll just click on that wall that's created, pull the endpoint over, create new endpoints for the door, and then put an endpoint from the door to the wall. But without that, if you just bring a map in, if you're familiar with virtual tabletops, you literally have to draw every damned wall, and it's just a beat down. I mean, it takes forever. And once I discovered that the VTT files from this convert the walls into the lines for your line of sight, I'm getting used to Foundry. And I actually I had it for like less than a week. I played with it, and last week on my Wednesday game, I brought my players in. I said, we're going to use this because I've been using not Roll20. I've been using Fantasy Grounds, specifically Fantasy Grounds Unity. And the issue with Unity has been crashes. And even if it's not crashing, it's had issues with, what's it? I mean, it's had some stupid issues. Let's just put it that way. We can fix these walls here too. We're gonna do that, and then I don't have to worry about that outside looking sloppy. Yeah, I started worrying about stupid stuff like that. It's like, wait a minute, I could fix that wall. So let's create an edge here. Big snap off. But I've had several issues with Fantasy Grounds, which I've used for years, that, in my opinion, see, that really fixed it, didn't it? Are not forgivable. It between the crashing, I mean, I have a player who is very impatient, and some of those load times when they're waiting for stuff to pop in, they just sit there and click, 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 and it's a new command being sent to my computer every time. That looks a lot better. And it will eventually, it's like he's DDoSing me because all this stuff's coming and I will crash. I'll hear him clicking and I'm like, stop clicking, stop clicking, stop clicking. He doesn't stop clicking, and then my system crashes. The Fantasy Grounds does. And I've got to restart. And a couple of times when that's happened, it's corrupted characters, and we've had to rebuild the campaign. So I moved over to Foundry because I have the ability to set up a campaign in there. I own all the books on D&D Beyond. And because I do, that allows me to set up a campaign, allow characters or player characters to build their characters inside of D&D Beyond, and then I import their characters in to Foundry, and they're all set and ready to go. So when they level up, they'll do it on D&D Beyond. I pull it in. Everything works wonderfully. Now, the other thing that I really love about Foundry is $50 one-time fee. I don't think you can beat that with a stick. So, I mean, there are just so many things right now that I'm liking about it. The combat system's pretty nice. I can pre-populate all the areas instead of like with Unity. What I'll do is you'll select the encounter, you click it, it drops the stuff in, it creates the encounter, and then you move from there. With Foundry, I just would pre-populate all the rooms with the encounters, and then I would set those guys as you can't. Well, actually, I can, because you have a line of sight unless somebody's invisible. You would set somebody as invisible, which you can do inside of Foundry. And then you simply draw a square around all the actors that are involved in that combat. It creates a combat window, and you go from there. And I mean, it's really, really amazing for what you get. I mean, I was stuck in my ways too. Trust me. I've used Fantasy Grounds since original Fantasy Grounds. I mean, I've had the videos are still up where I've run online games for people using Fantasy Grounds, and they're on YouTube. But at this point, I'm really liking Foundry a lot. And I'm pretty much like, you know what? I'm sold on this. So I'm converting us over. Like I said, if you already own your books on D&D Beyond, cost of entry is really low. I mean, I at this point I own all the adventures, I own all the books. Everything I own it on D&D Beyond, so I'm able to, and you're able to import the adventure into Foundry. You're able to import the items, the NPCs, all that stuff is able to be brought into Foundry. There are two ways to do it. One that I consider like the legitimate way. Now I do do a Patreon with somebody who I I mean, they spend a lot of time coding this, so I don't have a problem with it. But they code something called Virtual Tabletop Assets. It works for Foundry. And using that, you're able to pull every monster, every spell, every module into Foundry. For $5 a month, I mean, the guys spend a ton of time doing this. I don't have a problem with paying somebody for doing their work. There's a janky way to do it called, what's it called? Plutonium, 5e Tools. And it looks like what they're pulling from is the Trove. So I think the issue with Foundry is going to be someone would have to go in and program the rule set in for you. I believe it uses CSS. It's a combination of three things that you have to be able to program in. I mean, they're light languages, but you'd have to be able to program the rule set in or know someone willing to do it for you. They have a growing list of existing games that are in there, and they also have basically a FAQ that shows you how to go in and, you know, the basics of what you need to do to set up a rule set. So if you're familiar with programming, it wouldn't be that difficult. It's just going to be time consuming. But that's the beauty of Foundry. It's basically the equivalent of open source that way, where people can come in and, let's say you really wanted old school Traveler from back in the late 70s, early 80s. You could go in and program old school Traveler, which wouldn't be that difficult because, I mean, little mini books, you know what I mean? I believe you could do character sheets and stuff like that very simply in here. But entire rule sets, it's going to be a little more complicated. I would go to Foundry and take a look. And the guy that makes it, I mean, it's a guy. He's very responsive. So you could even ask him, you know, what you would have to do to create just a character sheet because you wanted to run a game in there. And I'm sure that you would get a response pretty quick. I mean, right now I'm using it for 5e. I've had a Pathfinder game I've been running for a while, and they have Pathfinder 1 support, but I haven't figured out how to bring the modules and stuff in, so that's on my to-do list, figure that stuff out. But, I mean, I've been more worried about setting up my Wednesday 5e game, setting up maps for another game that I plan to run. That's why I'm doing the Descent into Avernus maps right now. And I'm kind of fed up with Pathfinder. So, I mean, we've been playing it for quite a few years, and I've kind of gotten, you know how you'll get tired with a system? I've gotten tired of it. Hi, Boscox. How's it going? Your friends don't play D&D? When I was a kid, that's how I started playing D&D. That, you know, my friends, we all started playing back in the old days. It's not derailing. I mean, like I said, I'm in here just creating a map and chatting with people. Um, I had made this map before, and I was really unhappy with how it was made. So now I'm in the process of coming in and redoing it. So, I mean, I am kind of picky about that kind of stuff. There we go. Let's start. We're going to start this one. We have snap off. Let's rock and roll. But I mean, it took with Fantasy Grounds, I had actually we were actually playing a game called Crawl Classics for a while, and they didn't have a rule set in there for it. They had they had kind of like a base system in there, which allowed me to do what I needed to do. But as far as modules and all, I had to go in and create the modules. I am Boss Cox. Thank you for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you're having an awesome day. So, I mean, I really got into working inside of Fantasy Grounds so that I could, you know, make modules for game systems that really weren't supported. And it was a lot of fun, but now that I'm having so many issues with Unity, I started looking for a new virtual tabletop. Um, and when I found Foundry, because most of my games were being run on 5e, I was just like, man, this thing works awesome. The support is good. The things that I'm noticing with it are players are able to log in really quickly and really easily. And I don't know if Roll20 is the same way, but I was seeing on Fantasy Grounds, even with the old one, there was always a bit of lag there. And anytime someone did something, moved a character, anything like that, there was a lot of lag. And they're not seeing the lag here. How complicated is map making? It's not. The thing that takes me the longest time is, you know, because I have old man syndrome at times, and I forget where objects that I want to use are. So I end up going, wait a minute, where's this? Where's that? And, you know, it's, I'll use something now, and 5 minutes from now, I'll forget what folder it was in. That's why on DungeonDraft, I am hoping that they eventually put a better search function in there. Be able to find assets. So I don't have to constantly go asset fishing. Right, isn't it? Let's see. I'm way too picky about my lines, I think. But that looks okay. Is it possibly too picky about your lines? I think it is. But I mean, map making, it's not hard. Like I said, I think that at times I make it harder than it needs to be. Because I'm so picky that everything needs to look good. All right. I think you can be too picky at times, and it just like impedes your progress. Look at that. That is fugly. Let's see what happens if we snap this one. Honestly, this, because it just steps, can be snapped. There we go. It just comes to end. Oh, what the fuck happened over here? What the hell? I had that the way I wanted it. Oh, you evil bastard. Oh, wall. Let's see what this does. Dog is like really getting mad. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You want to go out there with Mama? You want the door open. That's your problem. Ow! Clawing me to death. No! Ow! Oh, she just tried to rip my ears out. Let me see if I can get rid of this. Oh, ha ha! Thank you. How long should the average session be? All right, first I'll answer all these questions after I eject the puppy. Go out with your mama. Come on, that's what you want. Go with mama. She's mutilating me. My God. I'm going to be scarred. So, as far as session length, I look at session length like it's going to be whatever you schedule. Wednesdays, I have a 2-hour game normally that we run. I mean, before COVID-19, it was at a store. Go there, play for 2 hours, 7 to 9, bam, done. Fixed time period. Same group now, they're playing online. Compass NL, how's it going? Same group now, we get on. I schedule it to get on at 6:30, so we get on between 6:30 and 7, and then we'll play till we get tired, 9:30, 10 o'clock. Average game when I'm playing with friends or not in a store where I have a fixed time frame is usually going to be about 3 hours. Now, we have a Sunday group that we would go and play, or they would come here, and we would start at like 11 and to play until 4, so like 5 hours. When I was a kid, oh man, it depended. I remember there was a movie called Excalibur that came out in the 80s. We played a 48-hour session before that movie released, and then we went and watched Excalibur. And then and this was without any sleep, went to an SCA event and beat the crap out of each other with rattan swords. It ended up being like 72 hours of D&D movie, and then you can't really call SCA LARPing. It's more like you're in armor and doing combat and beating the crap out of each other. That was a long freaking weekend. It was crazy. So, but an average session, 2 to 4 hours is fair. Ooh, booby love. Thank you for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you're having an awesome day. So I mean, there's no set time. It really comes down to, you know, when I was when we were kids. I mean, playing high school, junior high, weekends, we might play 4 or 5 hours. If after school we'd go out, do our stuff, get home. After we eat our dinner, we'd go play D&D, and we'd end up like 6 until 11 or 12 at night. But it was all just a group of friends. We'd sit down and play. You know what I mean? There's just no set time. The time of your session is going to be determined by where you're playing and who you're playing with. Take a look at the wall. Unhappy with this wall? We might be unhappy with it. I guess what kind of questions do you have? What kind of campaign are you writing? I mean, what questions do you have? Let's just go straight there. How about that? All right, so I think we need wooden doors in here because it's a ship. What kind of doors do we want? I think that's good. Bam. I mean, I feel like I literally feel like I've been playing forever. It's crazy. We only have one door in here. It is a ship, so there shouldn't be a ton of doors. We're gonna need some masts, so let's do that with our object tools. But go ahead, shoot away, and I'll answer. So you're taking over the party from your current DM. Are you running a pre-written module or what? I mean, my usual recommendation for a first-time DM is going to be to maybe run a pre-written. Just because prep is easy, but if you have something in mind, then that's cool too. Okay, you forgot the connection. It happens. I can try. Compass NL, thank you for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you are having an awesome day. All right, where are my stairs? I think this is what we've been using, so we'll keep using those. Go for it. It's all good. So we're going to take snap off and we're going to start setting some tables. Oh, let's see. Do we want them to look nice and decorative? We just want make them ragged tables. That. The only other issue we don't have a bar that looks right. Guess she just has a little table in her room. All right, now we need to look at. Take a look. This is L4. Let's see what's in there. Cabin is full of mismatched wooden furniture, including a bed with posts carved to resemble mermaids. Now we don't have that. Nightstand, a wardrobe, a writing desk, and a fur-draped chair. A small dining table surrounded by 4 plain chairs. Near the foot of the bed rests an ornately carved sea chest. So first, let's start with the chairs. That out of the way. I'm gonna do raggedy looking round chairs, make them smaller. Is that right? That under. Little details like that, like the chairs. I don't know. Set them so they're not necessarily neatly placed. desk. Describe it as nightstand, a wardrobe. This is really a nightstand. You know what? That looks nightstandish enough. Yes. And campaign can be a lot of different things. I mean, the ones where I've played where stuff was on water a lot of times, it's generally going to be something that that the DM has written. Castle furniture, I think. And in that case, you know, it's going to come down to bar in here. Bar, this is the problem. I don't like the bar. I'm going to need to draw a bar too. And then it comes down to whether or not the DM is creative. The one that we did, the guy that wrote the campaign was not. That's the nicest way I'll put it. That campaign did not end well because DM was a bit of a jackass. And when I say that, well, that's mean. Guy was a bit of a jackass. He would intentionally target players he didn't like, started a lot of crap, and this was a table, our Sunday table that we've had for years. And he came in and played, and then he said he wanted to run, so we let him run, and he just started a lot of crap, and so we kicked him off the table. And I started a new campaign at that point. But that would be nice, but you know, he wanted to run like a pirate themed campaign, which some people complained about that, but I was like, you know what, we haven't done that, let's have fun. And it was the dumbest campaign I've ever played in. It was so obvious that he was targeting traps to kill certain players. Like, 3 people would go down the hall, and the 4th player that he was constantly targeting, they'd step over something, and bam, it would go off on them. And he'd be like, well, it was set to go off on the 4th person. And it's like, you know, bullshit. Because no matter what, every trap hit that person. And I don't like, I won't play with somebody that targets players, but the things that he did, I mean, it was Trappy Trapland that we were playing in. It was bad. There would be traps inside of traps, and places that shouldn't have traps, like a Temple of Sarenrae, goddess of love and light, filled with fireball traps. And then, you know, you'd open up a wardrobe, and it would be trapped and blow up. And then after it blew up, a fucking fire trap would hit you from above. I mean, it was nothing but traps. It got to the point where we walked around with Detect Magic on all the time because we knew all these magical traps were going to go. And he was flipping his shit because, you know, we're moving at half movement and we're playing Pathfinder. We're pinging Detect Magic constantly to try to not die from these traps. I think the jungle in the Vietnam War was easier than playing in Trappy Trapland. It was awful. But it was crazy because the way the thing started, he's like, you know, I want you to build out your characters and equip them and all this stuff, right? And I'm like, okay. We build our characters, and first game session, the ship sinks. He's like, you've lost all your gear. It's all at the bottom of the sea. You never get it back. I mean, we all spent time building our characters, gearing them, and it was just like, what the fuck? And then it made it impossible to get anything. And when we get to town, and there were, you know, things would happen, and we'd you would react the way you normally would with NPCs because things are happening. He's like, oh, well, you can't do that. They're 15th level characters, first, second level. Like, why is every NPC and member of the city 15th level, and why do they need a bunch of pissant first level characters to do whatever needs to be done if this is this uber powerful place? So I ended up building and adjusting my character to the point where I intentionally pissed him off. I built something out that he couldn't deal with, and it got ugly from that point on. And I still wasn't the one that he was targeting. It was another player. And there's no room for personal grudges and being an asshole in a D&D camp. I feel like there's no room for it in life, but it happens. I have a wardrobe. There's a wardrobe. There's a wardrobe. Put the wardrobe there. And I need a chest. And I know the chests aren't going to be in storage. They're all in dungeon. No, he was killing them. He was trying to. But that player was smart, and they ended up building out so that they had resistance to all this shit. And he was flipping his shit. And the fact that I went around doing detect magic and disabling all of his traps, he was losing his crap. And he even went on the Pathfinder forums and was complaining that we were ruining his campaign by running detect magic all the time. And he put all this stuff up, and I went in and corrected what was happening, and they're like, oh, you're a jackass. It was fucking hilarious. Furniture. I'm trying to remember where this was. I know it's not in storage because we were just there. Chests? Is there chests? Go for it. But yeah, that was probably the most annoying campaign I ever played in. All right, let me read this slowly. Short version of the story is party 8 players. That's a big party. Crashes their ship on an island, basically. Port city around this world on the beach. They're starting guards, green eyes. Don't need to get away safely. Luckily, too soon. I whisper. Well, if it's something that he can't retrieve himself, I would make it some type of good object in possibly a good temple that is protected from evil. And that would justify the party having to go in. Now, it would also preclude the ability of any party members to be evil. So, but that's what I would do. And if somebody made the mistake of making an evil character, then yeah, they might have to sit outside and watch while everybody goes in. But I would do something that's like under like a protection from evil. And maybe it's something that's inhibiting his powers because he wants to turn everybody into zombies 100% of the time. And once he destroys that, then he'd be able to do what he wants to do. And then you need to encourage the characters to, not give it to him and kill him in the end. By letting them know that they're doing something horrible without knowing it. You know what I mean? Sure. And he wants to destroy that. Off Buff Guy, thank you for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you're having an awesome day. You know what? That's a chest. It did say it looks like iron, so let's do that. Bam. I mean, that's the reason I would be able to. I'd figure that they weren't able to go in there because they're evil. There's some type of protection from evil. Yeah, I mean, I would just make it so it's like some kind of item that, in the end, if they take it away, they're screwing the whole city over. Now, if you've got like some crazy flipping players, who are like, well, I don't care, we won it. You're gonna have those. Then the rest of the players are gonna have to slap them in the line. Oh, what time is it now? 1:19 in approximately 40 minutes. I got to give my dog a pill. So, but I just paused the stream for a minute. I'll probably be on till 3 or 4. I mean, you've always got players who are just going to be like the bane of your existence. It happens. I tend to weed them out from my table. All right, we'll see you when you come back. But you can't always do that. I really don't like this bar. You know what? This is going to be our bar. So we'll make some minor adjustments to how this is set up. Like I said, I'm going to have to draw a bar. Java Llama. Thank you for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you are having an awesome day. Share. Since we have more bar space, let's do this. Doesn't even have to be. This is an old ratty ship. Why would everything be nice and orderly? I think we need some barrels too. In there. What do we want? We don't need a giant barrel. We need something with a tap on it. Bigger. A little more than half. The rest will go over. We're going to stack these. I think that looks okay. Little girl, she was in here. The new dog, and just being Miss Mischief. Not that that's a bad thing. I like it when they're crazy and have a lot of life in them. Everybody. Everybody loved the jelly because she was a brat. That's why we have the jelly cam. I think she was a fan favorite. Oh, got the boys in here now. Pretty sure everybody loved the jelly more than they loved the dad in stream. close enough. So let's zoom out and see if we're done on this level. And this is the other thing I'm going to need to draw, couches. So I think we're gonna have to make some assets. I'm not going to worry about it for this. We're not going to leave it as we're going to do armchairs instead of couches. I am going to take one look here. Let's look at mansion furniture and see if somebody made a couch. I don't think they did. I guess in the assets where these D&D worlds were made, couches. Oh, we could have a curved couch. How about that? Let's see. We might do that. I'm not happy with the curved couch, but we're going to go ahead and use this for this map. I've got a list of assets that I feel like I need to make. Let's look here, see what L6 has on it. Tavern Lounge. Lounge fills an entire deck and is lit by oil lanterns hanging from 8-foot high ceiling by 1 foot. Deck contains a bar, couches, coffee tables, and tables where patrons can socialize and gamble. Another bar. Tables. So let's do this. Get the bar in there. Take that down to have a ton of room, so it's going to be a small bar here. Barrels behind it. Chairs. We'll have nicer chairs. I feel like the bar stool be a bit smaller. Fill them up. Regular table. So hopefully that helped you, Compass. I mean, that's how I would handle it. And like I said, you are going to have, and not knowing your players, but knowing what I've seen with players, there's always a chance you're going to have somebody that's, I want that, I'm going to keep it. You have to be like, well, you're dooming an entire city to zombiehood and damnation, so you're the exact opposite of being the heroes of the story. And hopefully they'll be like, oh, okay, that's a bad idea. I mean, as a player, I have had to stop other players from doing really stupid shit. As a DM, you have to do it sometimes too. But most of the time, the other players can slap them with the logic hammer and tell them, you can't do that. Okay. All right. Now we need, I don't think we have any round looking tables. Should have some small tables though. Placing stuff, you always want that snap turn. That's the only regular table. Look at these really aren't interior furnishing this. That's junk thrown around. Oh, I should have used these stairs on the ship. That's what I was looking for. Ah, that's fine. That's fine. So, go up to building assets. I have bird nest. We need some dead birds up on that deck, don't we? Have birds? Damn it. Bird. Funny. Pikater. Thank you for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you're having an awesome day. Just need some tables. Look right, don't we? Mansion furniture. That's where we found. Ooh, excited. Look at that. Oh shit. I didn't floor in the walls. Let's do that. We'll see if it'll work. If I have to go back and redo this, I'm not going to have a cow. Now she's out there crying. She wanted to leave so bad. I don't want to be stuck in there. The way little dogs are. I don't want to be trapped. Now she's going, I don't want to be stuck out here. Puppies crack me up. Alright, let's see if this works. I'm hoping. Snap is off. Do this. That was the issue I had. The first time I made this map, everything was, I forgot to turn snap to grid off. The fact that, you know, you're outside of that half a grid point was just wrecking my map. And once I was like, wait a minute, I can turn snap to grid off, it was like a giant light came on that said, yay, make the map not suck. Look at that, it worked. All right, endpoints, I don't think it wrecked anything, so we're good. Go in here, barrels, they're fine. I think that looks fine. Let's add our masts and we'll go to the next level. Take the size down a little bit more. These we can snap. That's another level done. And we may, they don't have them in here, I think we might go in and add some lanterns randomly. Maybe set the light source up. We'll see. I mean, honestly, I think the light sources in this would all overlap. And the problem with bringing light sources in, which we saw the last time we did one of these, was, you know, you end up with some serious dark spots inside of your virtual tabletop. So we don't want that. Oh, and I'll be able to make these bulkheads the way they need to be. That was the other thing. My bulkheads were horrible in the other map. I didn't have them right. All right, let's finish this off. Turn snap off. Tell you what, I was so bummed yesterday. Daniel Chibataru, thank you. Daniel Chibataru, YouTube. Thank you for the sub. Hope you're having an awesome day. But had a brisket sitting out there. I wanted to smoke on the smoker. Get up at 7 in the morning. Gonna trim that thing out, go out, set the smoker up, get everything fired up, and walk out. The sky's black, thunder's going off. Like, damn it. And it was, you know, just a day of storms. So I wasn't able to smoke my brisket. I was not a happy dad. Not at all. We ended up, they're like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, let's just Get some pizza today, and I'll smoke the brisket one day this week when we're not having rain. Shit. That was kind of a bummer. Follow my Instagram and definitely see that I love smoking brisket, pork butt. All kinds of meat. These like this, and then I think big snap off. That's good. I know some people are disappointed. I'd started Last of Us 2 on Friday. I was disappointed. I had looked forward to that game forever. Ever since the original Last of Us was out. It was like the one game I was really, really looking forward to. And just felt like revenge pouring through the whole damn thing, and I'm not into that. So, fortunately, I think our run through of that is dead. I just can't stomach playing the revenge porn. I think we have some hammocks here. We do. I mean, I admit, I wasn't able to watch Game of Thrones after the first season. It was a little much for me. Troll and scroll, let's see. No, that does the map. I haven't figured out a keyboard quickie for the size. Take a look here. So spacebar and scroll rotates it. What about Alt? Nope. Well, actually, that just rotates it. Nope. Alt won't do it. That's Shift. Nope. Let's look it up. See if there are any keyboard shortcuts. Control plus mouse wheel just zooms the map. Floor shape tool. Object tool. Rotate, slow, scale. Alt plus mouse wheel is not doing it. Oh, now it is. It wasn't working a minute ago, but maybe I was still active on the other page. That could be it. In fact, that's probably it. All right, so we need decor. Really need they're fine. Keep them that size. I use these for like everything. Avid, she's savage. Thank you for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you are having an awesome day. You know, if I need tapestries, these are my tapestries. If I need curtains, these are my curtains. These are my catch-all for squiggly things on the map. Kind of funny. So that's the, let's see what L7 is in there. Guest cabin. Not currently occupied. There's a bed, wardrobe, empty desk, and chair. Oil lantern hangs from a rusty hook bolted to the mast. We can do that, I think. Let's take a look. That's a torch. I know I found some assets that were better lighting. Let's see about custom set. Office. Start with living quarters and we'll work our way out. Bed. Good. Set a wardrobe, right? Or I set a wardrobe. Same desk we use. Let's do the make the wardrobe a little smaller. Share. Compass, thank you. I've been suffering through that for a while. It was kind of dumb. Dumb on my part. Need a lantern, don't we? Living. You know what? We're not done with this, so let's. Put these down there. Got everything there. Need to worry about maybe some lighting. And I think I'm just going to put the lights up. We're not going to add active lighting. I don't know about your campaign. In mine, it's like everybody goes in there and they're like, I've got dark vision. They make sure that they have a character with dark vision. Which is fine. I just wish that at times everybody didn't do that. Ah, my allergies. Pretty close to having this done. We'll be able to see what it all looks like in a minute. There's the lighting. Knew it was there. Have something. Wall lantern. That might work. See if there's anything else. Did say a lantern, so set it so even and all right, so L8. Areas prone to leak. Ship's hull is mostly submerged at this level. Puddles of water collect in areas where the floor has bowed. All space reeks of vomit and urine. That's just I think we're gonna put a light down here. We need stairs. We're gonna keep it keep the stairs the same that we've been doing. Snap these, snap the walls. Go. Let's zoom out and see how we look. See if we missed anything. Go to L5 and 6 to see about lighting. We'll install some lighting fixtures. Oil lanterns hanging from 8-foot high ceiling, 1-foot chain. So, what did we find that in? It was like FA, right? FA lighting. I like the FA lighting. Keep forgetting that there's some nice assets in there. Snap off. Put some random lighting in. There we go. That works. And I believe L5 was the same way. Audio is Bisno. Thank you for the sub. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you're having an awesome day. Tavern is lit by hanging oil lanterns. Oh, we need some glass hatches and portholes. There. there. I don't think they would be worried about symmetry in the ship the way it's built out. A personal opinion. And all right, I think that's good. Curious if there are any dead birds. I really want that. There are dead birds up there. We're going to try and find some dead birds. Bushes, dead trees, fallen logs, plant stumps. Bird skeleton would cut it, would it? Creatures, maybe? Pigeons. All right, let's see where the dead birds were. We're going to put them up there. Deck is littered with corpses. Dead seagulls in the forecastle. Dink. 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 Lantern off the ship's bow. I think we're damn close to being done. We are getting a little bit quicker with this. Part of my problem is I'm picky about stuff. Do that. I think that's it. Let's zoom out. We're going to take the reference off, and let's see how this looks. Put all our doors in. Let's put a door. Didn't put a door there. No one can get in. Now they can. Always got to check and make sure we didn't make any silly errors. All right. Like everything from the reference image is there. Like I said, the biggest issue, let's play with the lighting. So the biggest issue is going to be, put this in here. I mean, I guess we could put them in, take it down to think everything's lit there now. Let's zoom out again and see. Turn lighting off. On. Lighting's not bad. Be able to see everything in there. Dog pill. Well, maybe we'll go with that and we'll see how it looks inside of tabletop. The issue is going to be you walk down here, you're not going to see very well. The liability issue. But that's fine. In worst case, I mean, you can always turn the lighting off in the VTT, in the virtual tabletop. Save this thing. I think what we'll do, we'll export it both with and without lighting. And we'll leave it up to somebody uses this, if they want to have it on or not. Save. Port. Yes. I got to come out and give Icy her pill. Listening Janity. Thank you for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you're having an awesome day. Export. Leave the grid on. Let's export without the lighting for this set. Oh my god. So this one is low lantern. Low lantern, no lighting. It's going to crash. This is going to be where it's going to do it. No crash. Lighting. One. Might need some lighting on the deck. I'll have to look at that. That'll be easy to add though. Before we do any more saves, let's double check that. Alright, main deck, padlock wooden hatch, blah blah. It doesn't say, probably because you can be there during the day or not during the day. And I still screwed up because I did not do those saves. Something I didn't put in there. There's a deck level that has windows on it. Or portholes. We need to add those. So you can kind of see them there. We're going to guesstimate. They just have wind. Let's make sure there's nothing that doesn't look like it might be a little bit better. There. There. Thank you for the sub. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you're having an awesome day. Annex Prodigy, how's it going? Putting in windows I forgot to put in. There. There. I see it there. Here, directly across. Bar. Here. Not playing a game right now. I am prepping for my D&D game that I run and setting up maps. So this is for the module is Descent into Avernus, Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus, and I thought I was done. I forgot to put the portholes in, which I need to find something that has those wall assets. Ship. We need to fix this too. Sticking out. Better. Seems like you put a few extra points in, you make it not so damn rough when you put that stuff in. Like it needs fixing. Looks pretty smooth now, except for there. All right, we're gonna have to leave that tiny gap there and be happy with it, I think. Not necessarily happy. Not happy with that though. There we go. All right. That's got that done. Go ahead and save it again. Start exporting the same ones. Take one more look without the trace image. Let's export. Lighting on. Low lantern lighting on, that's it, right? Don't crash. Export. Low lantern, no lighting. Then I'm going to save for the PNG and JPEG. Lighting's not active. We're just going to do it without the lighting on. Oh, you know what? We'll make it look. Why not? JPEG. Take a look at those images. I think they look pretty clean. All right, we're good. Happy with our redo. The first one we did, I was not happy with it at all, but I'm happy with this. Good deal. Let's take a look and see what is our next map we need. We did the villa. We did under the villa. Journey to Candlekeep does not require a map. Getting to Avernus. Require a map. So we have chapter 1 fully mapped out for this, I think. To make sure, let's look at my files. We have Dungeon of the Dead 3. We're going to pull all those up, see how they look. We have Dungeon of the Dead 3. That one's ready to roll. Have Elf Song Tavern. That one's ready. We have the Low Lantern. Under the Villa. Honestly, I think that one turned out real nice. And we have the Villa. Have all our maps ready to go for that first chapter. Like I said, the nice thing is we have the virtual tabletop files set up so that these walls will all be in place. Oh, you know what? That is something we need to fix. You don't want your character. Poor boy, my sweet boy. Follow, it's greatly appreciated. Hope you're having an awesome day. We don't want the characters to be able to see the other levels, do we, when they're standing there? So we got to do this. We got to be Sneaky Pete. Always got to be Sneaky Pete when you're the DM. How do we want to use this? There. We could just put a fence up. Do this. All right. Like I said, you're doing this because, like, when they're standing out in the open like they are, they'd be able to see all the way across the map. I like putting the divider up because if you're running a virtual tabletop, it sets up your line of sight and it makes it so they can't see what's going on. So we're only going to save it this way in the VTT files. The DM will need to take care of that themselves. Blue Lantern. Getting on. Information Factory, thank you for the sub. So we'll set this one here. We'll replace it. Line of sight is obstructed from one layer to the next. Do it with lighting off. There we go. Now, I don't have the lighting set on all of the other maps that I've done. I think I'm going to leave them the way they are, and as we move forward, lighting and stuff like that we'll put in when it's appropriate. And we'll set it so it's either on or off in the virtual tabletop files. And see how it goes. I've set up a Patreon so that people are able to download all of the files to use on the virtual tabletop. I'm going to start setting up these 4 files for the first set of loads. I may also start working on like first chapters of other books. We're going to take our time doing that. So we'll do map day once or twice a week. And then we'll get to actually gaming the other days. I'm going to go give my puppy a pill that she needs at 2 o'clock. And I'll be right back. So I'm going to put the be right back screen on. See you in about 5.